Eurozone finance ministers have met in Brussels to discuss the fourth and final instalment of funds for Greece's economic bailout programme. It's still not clear, however, when the estimated $7 billion will be disbursed to the Greek government. EU officials have said the Greeks have made progress in reining in the government's finances, but more work needs to be done. The attention now shifts to ways to forgive some of Greece's debts. Let's get more on this now. On the Eurogroup meeting, Jack Parrock joins us live from Brussels. Hello, Jack. Great to see you. Look, the Eurogroup finance ministers were due to have wrapped up this release of the fourth tranche of funds amounting to more than $7 billion last month. That didn't happen. What's the hold-up, and when are we expecting these funds to be disbursed?
Well, the hold-up has been a series of reforms that the Greek government have need to go through, and a series of hoops essentially put in front of them by their creditors of review processes and visits from the European Commission and the other institutions. Now, we actually have heard from the Eurogroup President Mario Centeno, who has said that Greece is now likely to get this bailout tranche, about $7 billion, in the end of March, post-March 2015. Now, that will mean that this money is dispersed. It now needs to go to the European Stability Mechanism. They're the ones that need to finally approve it. But it looks like Greece will finally get this very final slice of money from this bailout, which really clears the way for Greece to exit the bailout fund, which is what everybody is looking for now and hoping that Greece will do.
Jack, meanwhile, what are we hearing from the Greeks themselves?
Well, the Greeks are obviously pleased about this. The final amount of money is coming out. The Greek Finance Ministry was very upset that it wasn't released back in February. And also the Greek Finance Ministry in the last couple of weeks or so has had to be defending the bailout, saying that it won't be extended. But what Greece wants now is debt relief. That's the most important thing for the Greek government. They want some of the Greek debt to be written off so that the country can return to stability. Now, the Eurozone European Commissioner for Finance, Pierre Moscovici, came out and said that they're desperate for Greece to return to become a normal Eurozone country. And in order for that to happen, the International Monetary Fund says that Greece needs to have debt relief, some of the debt written off. And we now know that discussions will begin on that in April. So the Greek government will be pleased about that.
If all of this happens, does that make Greece eligible to be part of the European Central Bank's bond buying programme, which has been propping up the European economy for many years now?
That's the intention, and really what Greece has to do is return back to normality. The European Central Bank and the bond buying programme is still a bit of a way off. Greece needs to come out of the bailout, but discussions on that will now begin. How can Greece return back to being not just a receiver of money, but actually being able to invest in the multitude of European structures and financial instruments that exist? OK,
very finally, very quickly, what else is on the agenda at this round of Eurogroup finance ministers' meetings?
Well, the main point of interest is what Bruno Le Maire, the French finance minister, was talking about when he entered this meeting. Here in Brussels, there's another real big issue bubbling away with the US imposing tariffs, a 25% tariff on steel. Trump tweeting today that Europe needs to be fairer. Bruno Le Maire, the French finance minister, came out and said that this needs to be discussed within the World Trade Organization or the G20 rules. And really, the EU is starting to dig its heels in against America on this. We had a meeting over the weekend which didn't really resolve it from the EU side.
OK. Jack Parrock in Brussels. We'll leave it there. Thank you very much indeed.